What the f?
Bruh.
No.
All right.
I'm Max.
I'm gonna cut that out.
I'm Adina.
I'm Raina.
I'm Jacob.
Okay.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Broad Podcast. We'll review bad movies. So today episode is going to be the Emoji movie, aka the Emoji movie.
Yeah, so that was, I mean, can we all just agree that it was like a movie? Like that's really it.
It was an animated film.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much I can really say about it.
It had a
Gene was
plot.
so annoying. He made me so mad.
It
Gene,
had character
yeah.
development.
I mean,
Did it?
did it really though?
It had situations that people got into.
I mean, yeah, like, I mean, so, all right, let's lay down the plot for those of the people fortunate enough to not have seen this movie, because that's really a blessing. Before I watched this movie, I was much happier. But, so basically, what happened? There's, like, these emojis, right? And they have, like, their own, like, what's it called? They have their own emotion that they have to be if they're, like, a face emoji. And then, like, the shrimp emoji is, like, Australian. And then there's, like, a broccoli emoji. I don't know. There's a bunch of emojis, and they all have their own purposes. But,
You
like,
know what
the
emojis
face
are.
ones yeah, well, obviously. But the face ones have to be whatever their emotion is. So, like, crying, they say this at the beginning, but, like, crying has to cry all the time, even if he, like, just won $1 million. And, like, I think that's the exact metaphor he uses. And
Yeah.
then, like,
Well, it's not really a
meh
metaphor because it actually happens.
well, yeah, and then meh had
Also,
to be,
money is real in emoji society, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they apparently know what's happening in the real world, and they're actually cognitive. But you know, whatever. So basically, it's like the story of what happens in your phone when you're like typing, and you're like, you know what, I want to use an emoji, which is just clearly realistic. I mean. Like, you can't get more real than that,
Okay.
am I right?
So how about we talk about the main character and what he actually did? Okay.
So Gene, yeah,
He's the meh face.
he's the meh face, but he's terrible at it.
Yeah, he's horrible. He's a really
He
bad man.
makes every other face except
He-
for meh.
He's kind of like my reaction to this movie if you think about it.
I get, yeah.
Because it's like, I'm trying to like vibe with it, but no, it's just so meh to terrible that I just absolutely dislike it.
Okay, so anyways, he's meh, and he's not very good at being meh, and so he gets to go on his first day at the job, where
Yeah.
all the emojis go, and he gets chosen to be sent, like the kid who owns their phone chooses to send the meh emoji, and Gene screws up and does not make the meh face, and then he basically gets like banished
Yeah, he
and
gets.
hunted down.
Oh yeah, that girl tries to hunt him down and like kill him and
The
erase
creepy
him. or
smiley
whatever.
The smile
face.
girl.
Oh yeah, that
Factual.
creepy smile. Girl
She's
that
like,
everyone hates.
Look her
I'm the
up.
original, so I get to discriminate against you. That's pretty
she
messed
was
up.
like, I mean, she was insane. And then like his parents were like, what? They were like going through like yet another divorce. Or,
His
like,
dad
considering a
actually-
divorce.
They considered
But
it
they-
at one point,
but they
then
were
they
both like the whole time just like, yeah, I guess let's get divorced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
then
it was
they-
all like meh, and it was
But
just
then they
so,
like
Dad
met up
was
in
mad.
Paris and they were like, "Yo, it's beautiful here. Our marriage is saved."
Yeah, like seriously. And then there's I mean, they go through this whole like huge plot story only to find like that princess who's like now this like coder, and she like decodes and like breaks firewalls.
She was like a
and-
hack. She's a hacker.
Yeah, like what is that?
She's
And
like
then
a
we've got-
disguise.
Yeah, seriously. And then we find out that he's got some like malfunction where he can like be everything. And as it turns out, his dad has the same thing too, right?
Yeah.
So like they're both like weird emojis. And like what's that guy? He like erases his phone, like he starts erasing it.
The kid who
Yeah,
owns
what's
the
the
main-
kid's name?
I don't know.
Well, anyway, he's kind of irrelevant
Is he
besides the
relevant?
fact that he like tried to erase them all, and like then somehow after he erased half his phone, it all just like came back,
No, he
which is
erased,
just
like,
not
the
how
whole
that
phone.
works.
The interactions between the teenagers, because they would actually be seniors this year. this movie came out the summer after we became 8th graders, I think. Or no, that came out. It came out the summer before our freshman year, summer 2017, and
It's the same thing.
and it was not very accurate to how we acted then or now.
No, they were really weird. I mean, my God. Like, okay, I use an emoji like occasionally, maybe.
Yeah, I use them ironically. I don't love them.
Yeah, no, I use them as a joke.
I got specific emojis.
And this is like end of movie spoilers I'm about to get into here, but basically at the end she's like, I like your emoji, falls in love with you.
Oh yeah, she like
That
likes,
is weird.
She like
Who
likes
does
his
that?
emoji and is like, ooh,
What?
let's get married and have
What
babies.
the
Like,
heck?
what?
Excuse
cool
my
emoji.
potty mouth, but what the heck?
Just like, oh, a one of
Yeah.
a kind.
Yeah,
of a
she's like,
kind
you're so
emoji.
unique. I love your emoji. Let's date.
Oh, and then the high five, dude. He was there.
Oh my
High
God, the
five?
hand.
High five
Yeah.
just like messed everything up.
Yeah, he was.
He was
did
there for.
nothing. He was good at
comedic relief.
dancing.
He literally, yeah, he did absolutely nothing besides.
They're basically
dance.
running away from, like, the bodyguards from the happy face girl.
All right.
Oh my God.
You
those
guys remember the fecal matter emoji?
Yeah, the poop emoji.
The poop.
You know who played it?
Who?
Patrick Stewart.
He did not.
He
What a
did.
poop
He is knighted. He is Sir Patrick Stewart, knighted by the Queen of England,
Oh my God.
and played the poop emoji in the
Oh,
Emoji
he-
movie.
The poop.
Why?
The poop emoji.
The poop
I mean,
emoji.
I don't blame him.
like I have no words. I'm at a loss for words.
Maybe he picked that emoji specifically.
For real.
He was like, I want to be the Pip.
I mean, speaking of actors and people that we know exist, the shrimp emoji, like, you know, the Aussie,
Yeah.
some guy
We love the
named
Aussies.
TJ Miller played him. Can we just talk about who that is? Like,
Who is that? I actually don't know
I
who that is.
genuinely don't know.
Oh, nobody knows who
And
that is.
exactly, he's so irrelevant. He's just like, what?
Let's see what else he's been in.
Yeah, I mean,
Research, background research.
so
His
yeah.
real name's Todd Joseph.
He looks like a
hence
Todd.
the TJ. But like, I mean, is most of this money really going to this? Most of the money that it took to make the movie, which was $50 million, by the way, probably went to Patrick Stewart just so he could be the
TJ,
poop emoji.
TJ Miller was Gene.
Oh, I thought TJ Miller
He was in
the shrimp.
Deadpool, apparently. I don't know what for.
He was
but
in Deadpool.
But he was in it,
Yes, he was in Deadpool. He's like he's the bartender.
yeah.
in
He's the
Deadpool.
Deadpool in Deadpool. I don't know. I didn't watch Deadpool.
He's the bartender in Deadpool.
Okay, no one knows what you're talking about. But yeah, for those of you listening who know what Deadpool is and have actually seen it. But like, yeah, so we like with the budget of like $50 million, they somehow made $217 million with this movie. Like, this movie is horrible. How on earth?
Oh, wow.
Like, did that make? Because that made more than Anchorman 2. Which
To quote
I
a
just
fellow
really
movie review podcast, how did this get made?
Yeah, seriously. I mean, like, my God. I mean, oh my God. Yeah, so more than Jack and Jill, which is obvious. More than Anchorman 2, which is I think also obvious. I think the Emoji Movie was definitely better than Anchorman 2.
You know the kids.
All
bringing
right,
them
guys, it's time for me to come clean. I saw this movie in the theater.
You went to the theater.
Completely ironically,
To
with like
watch
two of
this
my
movie.
friends, but yes, I am part of that 217.8 million dollars that it made.
in. Are you part of the community?
God.
Yeah, I'm
He's part of the fandom.
He's part of the fandom.
I
part of the
actually
community.
created this movie. Fun fact. That's a
Wow.
joke. I did not.
If you made this movie, I probably would egg your house. Like, this is a horrible movie. Like, this
Yeah.
movie made my life progressively worse.
All right. Yeah, I agree. However, Sony Pictures Animation Movies did redeem themselves a year later with the release of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Well, there you go. That was a good movie.
Yeah, that was an incredible movie, and I don't understand how the same studio can make two drastically different motion pictures.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, my 8-year-old cousins like the movie.
That's good. That's the prime demographic.
Well,
And
that's
when-
where they made all their money.
Yeah, kids. Have you seen those like?
Yeah, kids and
Yeah, kids. bring in
ironic
the money.
14-year-olds.
Like those kid YouTubers. Oh my god, they have so many
Yeah,
subscribers.
like Ryan's World.
That kid, oh my god. So back on topic of the Emoji Movie before we like just go off on a tangent.
Hey, we can go off on tangents.
So keeping up with the pattern of the last 4 movies that we've discussed, Sharknado, Anchorman 2, Romeo and Juliet, and Jack and Jill, we've talked about Australian people, which has seemed to be a very, very big, it's just a very big talking point in all 5 of these movies. And divorce, which isn't really so positive. I don't know why it's in all of these movies. We had Jack and Jill, where Jack and his wife were having issues in their marriage with Jill. And then we had Romeo and Juliet, where there was like the people with the flamingos got divorced. And then we had Ron and Veronica and the divorce with Finn and April. And now we have this mess parents, or Jean's parents, they were considering a divorce. I mean...
Yeah, I feel like it's a pretty common thing for movies to have like some sort of conflict between like, you know, 2 romantically involved people. But it kind of is surprising that every single movie we watched had divorce. And we were not considering this when we chose the movies at all.
Yeah, I mean, we had absolutely no idea. The only movie out of these that I had ever seen before was Romeo and Juliet. So I had absolutely no background of Australian people.
I saw a couple of these movies, but I kind of erased them all from my memory.
I mean, as you should. These were
Except for the Kanye West scene in Anchorman 2. I'm still not over that. That was crazy.
the Kanye West scene. My God, was there any weird celebrities in the Emoji Movie besides Patrick Stewart? I mean,
There were Australian people though. Did we discuss that?
yeah,
yet?
the shrimp emoji.
No one's
He was the
voice,
Australian.
really.
Yeah, no one's voice
Yeah.
really stuck out to me.
Yeah.
Who was the princess? She sounded very familiar.
Let's look
No,
it up.
I don't think she
Hacker
was.
girl.
Who?
I
Hacker
don't
girl.
think she was
Think she was what?
a person that we would know.
She was she was played by, I'm pulling it up, Anna Faris.
Exactly who is that?
Yeah, I have no idea who that
Is
is.
she in one of the other movies?
I mean, yeah. So we got $50 million turned into $200 million. So that's 4 times what they spent.
She was in
on
Cloudy
their-
with a Chance of Meatballs.
And then we had the shrimp, and we had the divorce, and we had like all that going on with like Gene and his dad, and I mean it was just a fireball of explosions of this movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
So let's get into the bra rating now.
yeah. So what you think, Max? Anyway, Max. So Max, what did you think of this movie?
It wasn't good. That's the reason why I chose it for this. Man, it just like
He gives it a meh.
it was not good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a high rating. I would have to give it. I have to give it a 9 because Jack and Jill, that's the top, and
Yeah.
it did not reach that. It was nowhere close to reaching that.
For
So-
sure. The first movie we watched was The Brust.
The Brust.
I mean,
The breast.
when we did the podcast for that movie, it was like,
Jacob gave it a 13.
yeah,
I
you
gave it a
both
13
went off the scale
because it was just so terrible.
It was
like
horrible.
even the Emoji Movie, which was not even fun, ironically, still I don't know. It
It was still a better movie.
The movie
It was
not
wholesome.
impactful.
It was like family fun. Like I would be comfortable watching it with my dad, but I would not be comfortable watching Jack and Jill with my dad. So for that reason, I would be
watched it
giving
with my dad.
the movie of Emoji, about the emoji with emoji in it, the Emoji Movie. I will be giving it a 8 out of 10, bruh.
Yeah, that's totally deserved.
For
It was absolutely horrible. I think I'm gonna have to agree with Jacob on that. I think I gave Jack and Jill a 9 out of 10 because
You
it
did.
wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
That
Actually,
was-
that's a
that
lie.
was generous.
It's definitely been the
Generous.
worst. It was definitely the worst movie, but I feel like you could get worse than that.
I feel like
So-
I haven't seen worse.
But I mean, Emoji Movie, yeah, I'm gonna have to give it an 8 out of 10. That movie had little to no plot, no like total structure at all. Like it's not that I was confused. It was more of just like, okay, like when's something gonna explode? You know, like I was just looking for more when there was literally nothing to look for. You know, there's
For
just
sure.
absolutely nothing happened that entire.
Yeah, like no one
movie.
died, you know.
For sure.
No one
it was
died,
not. It was
no.
not entertaining.
Yeah,
it was just uncomfortable.
There was no death. I mean,
Yeah, no death.
no, like it was. I mean, at least Dunkachino entertained me for like 40
Dunkachino
seconds.
was the
Like,
best
my
part of the
God.
movie, but we had to just watch through an
Yeah, we
hour
had
and a
to
half
watch-
of awfulness to
Yeah.
get to it.
It was. I don't think it was even worth it in the end.
That
of the
movie
day.
was so bad that we
Right.
are now taking this series of podcasts on a complete loop. So go back and listen to the Jack and Jill podcast because
you
this
haven't
concludes
already.
the podcast.
No, Raina.
Y'all
needs to
forgot
give-
about
Oh,
me.
Yeah.
so I'm sorry, Raina.
Raina, let's
I'm
go.
gonna cut that part out too.
No, leave it. All right. I'm gonna give it. Raina's gonna give it a 9 out of 10, bros.
Raina's talking in third person today.
Because Jean was annoying and unlikable and made me angry basically the whole entire time. You know, none of the characters were
I'm pretty sure
likable.
we were all screaming at the television.
He was just so
during that.
annoying, and how did anybody like him? I don't know. Cause
I don't know how
I don't like
I
him.
don't know how this movie made money. There was like at least Jack and Jill was like bad, like
Because-
you would want to see it because it's bad and it's Adam Sandler. But like the Emoji Movie legitimately had nothing.
Yeah, like, who
like
thinks
it was
of-
like legitimately
It was
horrible.
because little
Mommy
kids
emoji.
saw it on the TV. They saw a commercial for it, and they're like, "Mommy, Daddy,
I want to
we
go
need to
emoji
see
movie.
this."
I want to go
Yeah, but
emoji movie.
let's be
I
We're
would-
not
reasonable.
gonna say
I
no
would-
to a child.
I would say no to
My
my,
parents
kid
said
if they
no to
wanted
me
to
a
watch.
lot.
the
Like, let's
Emoji
be
Movie.
reasonable. Who's gonna watch a movie that says the Emoji Movie? Who's
That's
gonna watch
such a
that?
lame
Children.
movie.
Who's
That's
gonna
what we're
watch
saying.
that?
If you're gonna name it anything, at
I'm
least
pretty-
name it
You have
something
to be obsessed with
cool.
I'm pretty
emojis.
sure that this movie almost got canceled.
Do my little
As
kids?
it
Really?
should.
Why?
I'm pretty
Why
sure.
did
Do
they
my
not?
Why
cousins-
did they
pull the
not
plug?
cancel it? I mean,
I'm pretty sure that it might have gotten canceled and then rebooted. or,
I'm
like,
mad
might
that it
have
got. I'm
almost
mad that
got
it
canceled.
almost got canceled.
4-year-olds
too.
don't know what emojis are.
I feel like they do. I don't know. I don't talk to 4-year-olds because my entire family is the youngest person in my family is like age 11, and like most people in my family are like 35. So I don't really talk to 4-year-olds. You feel me?
So is that it?
I
I think
mean,
that's it.
like,
I think we've exhausted our things to say about this movie.
or like any
because-
of them. Like, I'm just so tired of like.
I feel drained, and I don't know what good movies are anymore.
No, I do. It's anything but these.
No, I
Like-
feel like there are just so many terrible movies that
Oh yeah.
I will just never be able to watch a good movie again.
Well, I mean, clearly they made 6 Sharknadoes.
If they made
So-
6 Sharknadoes,
Oh, no, they
the
made
world
hella
is in
bank.
shambles.
Dude, we should do one for like bad TV shows. We
We
could do a
should.
whole segment on Outer Banks.
We absolutely should.
why that TV show should be canceled.
This concludes.
Immediately.
Does anybody have any closing thoughts before we conclude?
Never watch these movies ever.
Please do
just,
not.
Just
Oh,
listen to the podcast.
I recommend
Do not.
Romeo and
Just
Juliet.
don't
Watch
yeah,
Romeo and
besides-
Juliet.
Yeah,
That
watch
was a good
Romeo and
movie.
Juliet. That was a good movie. But besides that, it was a good bad movie. But
It was
besides
a
that,
good bad movie.
never ever.
Actually, I would go so far as to say Romeo and Juliet was a bad good movie.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I think Romeo and Juliet's the only one that fits
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't fit in this category.
Everyone go watch part 2.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
Go listen to the Romeo and Juliet podcast and
Where we talk about gnomes fighting each other.
follow us for more podcasts.
Subscribe down below.
Subscribe down below. Hit that like button.
Smash that like button into pieces and make sure you turn on that bell so you get post notifications.
You've
every
heard us
time I
say
put-
stay happy and healthy.
Stay
God.
happy and healthy. Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
I'd never watch these movies ever. If I could give my past self one piece of advice, it would be no. Just
Yeah.
no.
All right.
It did actually. It got canceled, and then they made it still.
Why?
If we did
Why?
upload this, we will sure
That's
get like hate
awful.
for like at least one of the movies.
I swear to
you know
God,
what? that's constructive criticism. That's
Yeah.
completely fine.
Yep.
All right.
good.
Well,
To
please
wrap
do
it
not
all
hate
up.
on us for any of those movies. I believe that concludes this episode of
The final
What
episode.
Yeah, the final episode.
This concludes the
Bruh
final episode
podcast.
of the What the Bruh podcast.
Yeah, and I mean, should we do it for one last time?
Yeah,
Okay.
as always,
Bruh.
bruh.